All right, we're back. Coach Duke, we're here. Coffee with Coach. It's been a long couple weeks, and sometimes you got to just roll with the punches, as they say, and do what you got to do. So this week, we're going to do something different. I'm going to take my little book, because my little book, it don't work this week. I'm going to toss it over here. And I'm going to put a timer on for 20 minutes. And me and Coach Duke are going to talk about whatever he wants to talk about for 20 minutes.
Uh-oh.
So we'll start, and we'll just say, I don't even know who y'all are playing. I don't know when you're playing. It seems like you're playing a game every day or something. I don't know. So I'm going to put a timer on. Let's just put a stopwatch on. It's easier for my head. And somebody been talking about Taylor Swift, too, with me. I don't know. Taylor Swift, don't they call them Swifties? Yeah, we got some Swifties. Okay. So here we go. Put a stopwatch on. All right, Coach Duke. Stopwatch. Here we go. Play. All right. There we go, Coach. What you want to talk about?
I don't think I got 20 minutes of talkability in me right now.
I think we can go back and forth a little. You know, we can make it work, right?
Well, I'll tell you this: it's good to be back. You know, our hopes and prayers that everyone made it through the hurricane in this area safe. And I know we've had some coaches with some damage and some players that had something that hurt some faculty members as well. So, you know, it puts everything in perspective when you go through something so catastrophic. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone affected, and mainly with the families in Southwest Florida that was just devastated. But, you know, we're fortunate now to have gotten back this week and back to some kind of normalcy with the schedule, even though we play tonight against a great Timber Creek team at home. Then we play on Monday, and then we play on Friday. So we have 3 games in 8 days starting tonight. So that's a lot, but we have a lot to be grateful for. I'm grateful for this school, this community, our football program, all of our players and coaches. As it seems like we're in pretty good spirits, considering such a tough storm that came through in Hurricane Ian. So it puts everything in perspective, but glad to be back.
That's right. Glad to be back. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you think about these storms and they come through. And me and my wife were talking, and Charlie, we talk about Charlie all the time, and Charlie was 18 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me feel old. I don't look old, do I? Do I look old? No, I don't think I look old. Yeah, I can still be a Swiftie and be old, I think. I don't know. But, yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy week, and all these games coming up, Coach. I figure we'll just keep it crazy going and talk about, each of these opponents real quick. I think we can at least tackle Thursday, Timber Creek, Monday, the Wekiva Mustangs on Monday.
Yep.
And I think of it like they got to go through what we got to go through. So their preparation and our preparation, it's the same preparation. So all we got to do is be a little better than them. And then we keep winning and we keep this chain going. Don't let the chain break. So let's say, Coach, Wekiva. What do we see tonight in Wekiva?
Well, tonight's Timber Creek.
Tonight's Timber Creek. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Tonight's Timber Creek.
Tonight's Timber Creek,
That's right.
a home game. Very good football program led by Coach Buckridge. He's actually the longest tenured coach in our county. He's done a really good job. He's won a lot of football games over there. So they come here. It's a good team. And, they have the same amount of days to prep as we do. So short week, short time to prepare. We'll have to play really well. They have 2 senior receivers that are very talented. I think their quarterback's a really good player. I think defensively they do a good job. They mix stuff up on what they do on the defense side of the ball. And they probably have the best punter that we've seen all year, and a really good kicker as well. So we got to be good in special teams. We're fortunate to have them here tonight, hoping to play well, and then it's going to be a fast turnaround. We got practice on Friday, we got practice on Sunday, and then we got a game on Monday against Wekiva. And then again, a week from tomorrow, a week from Friday, we play at Ocoee, another really good team. So we know we got 3 games in a short amount of time, but we're trying to take it one day at a time and one game at a time. And tonight is the Timber Creek Wolves coming from the east side of town over to us. It's actually our first time that we've played them as a varsity program since I've been at Edgewater since 2017. So excited for the matchup tonight.
They're a big school, aren't they?
Yeah,
a lot of kids.
Yeah, it's over 3,000 plus kids. It's what they call 4 Metro. We're in 3 Metro, so they're in a bigger classification. Yeah, it's a big school in the east side of town.
All right, that's kind of neat. All right, what you think of my new shirt, Coach? You like my new shirt?
Yeah, it looks like you could go to work, you could go fishing, you could go to the beach, or you can go coach sport. Coach an athletic event in that.
It's like a
shirt.
sport. My shirt's like I can do anything in it.
That's right.
What about
I don't even have one of those.
Coach, last couple weeks ago, you don't have one of these?
I don't have one. I need to talk to my boss.
Oh, your boss, the great Bambino.
Exactly.
Yeah, your direct boss. Yeah,
right.
He's Yeah, I understand. You got to talk to your boss. Yeah, because he definitely did. I didn't want to reveal my source, but I did get this from the Great Bambino. Yeah, it's in a closet with a lot of Sharpies. But yeah. So let's see here, Coach. A lot of people have been asking. Storms I think make people feel a little thoughtful or whatever. So some people have been writing into us and asking some different things, and I think these two questions come from two different people that had the same kind of vibe. I don't know how if they talk on the phone or chat or whatever, have them long cords like my mama used to have, walk all the way around the kitchen. Did your mama have a cord like that in her phone? My mama had one of them cords when she was on the phone. Yeah. She could stretch herself like three rooms over, and you'd have to watch out and don't trip over the cord. Yeah, I remember them days.
I remember the car phone. You remember the car phone?
Oh, the car phone, yeah. I remember my daddy was a salesman, and he had a pager, and he had to get out of the car and stop at a payphone to make sales calls. And I'd be sitting in his car with him, and he'd stop the car, get out, go to the payphone, and he would do sales calls.
They just ripped out the last payphone in our country. It was in New York City about over the summer. It was the last one standing. They just ripped it out. That worked.
Are you sure?
Look it up.
Are you sure? I'm gonna look the Google Webs. I'm gonna look that one up because I've been to a couple I think state parks way out in the business, and they have phones.
The last one this summer in New York City taken out.
That's fake.
We'll look at
That's fake news. Fake news. Okay, we're gonna figure it out next week. We'll get back to you on that one. All right. So the question first was the Coach Duke origin story. They want to know a little bit more about you in your youth and how you got into football and how you became a coach. Did you play football? What number did you wear?
Sure.
All that. Let's hear it a little bit, and
I'm from Tallahassee originally, and at the time of growing up.
Born in Tallahassee?
Born in Tallahassee. My dad, when I was young, was the county athletic director. He'd been in coaching and in sports his whole life, and he was actually the county AD of Leon County in Tallahassee when I was a kid. So I remember being really young and being at all types of sporting events, including football games at the time in Tallahassee. It was called Capitol Stadium. It's now called Gene Cox Stadium after a great Leon Lions head football coach, Gene Cox. When I was growing up, it was called Capitol Stadium. But he was in sports. He was coaching and then got into sports business later on in his life. But coaching in sports and football had been a part of my life since I can remember. I played. We moved to Claremont, Florida, in 1996, where I played, and I played at East Ridge High School under a legendary coach by the name of Bud O'Hara. I played slot receiver, and I used to be pretty decent. I'd say pretty good. I wouldn't say unbelievable. And coming out of high school, I looked at a few different schools to go and play. They were small schools. They were NAIA Division II programs, kind of all over the country. One in Kansas, one in Mississippi, one in Kentucky. And fortunately, I had an academic scholarship as well, and I decided that I was going to start my college academic career at Florida State because I had an academic scholarship to go to FSU. And while I was there, I actually started coaching. I was a student assistant with the FSU football program under Coach Bowden when I was 19 years old. And then I started coaching at a high school up in Tallahassee while I was finishing my degree at Childs High School. So I was at Childs High School for 4 years. And then after that, I went to Jefferson County High School in Monticello. Then from there, I went to coach college football at Carson Newman College in East Tennessee, Division II school, coach wide receivers there. Came back to the state of Florida, worked at Panama City Mosley as an offensive coordinator for a year and got my first head job at Lake Highland Prep in 2014. So I was at Lake Highland Prep from 2014, 2015, 2016, 3 seasons as the head football coach there, and I got the head job here in January of 2017. And what's wild is, I started coaching young, played throughout my entire life, played through high school. After high school, looked at a few different college opportunities. There wasn't as many really good small school football programs in the state of Florida like we do have now. That they were kind of all out of the state, and that's where I was going to have to go if I was going to continue playing. Was fortunate to have an academic scholarship, so I started coaching and getting my degree really, really early on. And what's wild is actually my 19th year coaching football.
19 years coaching football.
Yeah, and my 9th as the head coach.
Wow. How many with the state of Florida?
So all except for in 2011, I was at Carson Newman College in East Tennessee. So the rest of the time I was in the state.
Wow.
So it's been a great journey, and I think the thing that makes it special, of course, the relationships that have been built along the way with former players and coaches and everyone that have football is a relationship business. But yeah, I grew up with this sport and around the sport, and it's been really good to me, and it's helped me develop as a man, as a player when I was younger, and also as a coach, and just with the relationships that have been built. So I'm very grateful for this game and for all the great relationships it's helped me build.
What number did you wear?
I wore number 13.
13.
And, go talk to some of those guys from South Lake County and ask them about Coach.
Ooh. All right, put
Coach
your name on a leash. Take it for a walk.
Go ask.
Walking around Claremont.
That's
say,
right.
Hey, how's it going? Remember old Cameron Duke, number 13?
Yep.
All right, I like that. That sounds like fun. All right. So let's see. What was this other question? We had another question here that was kind of similar. It said, Coach Duke, if you didn't have a job and a career coaching football, what profession or professions would you have explored and why? That's from one of our friends. No, maybe he. I don't know who it is. I don't think she said, but I think we know who it is. I think this is Jessica V. Okay, so I'm gonna say Jessica V live on the air. Okay, and so Jessica V wants to know if you weren't having this little career in coaching football, this relationship profession, what'd you call it?
Business.
Relationship business. I never knew sports was a business until today. I thought it was
big business. Just not really at the high school level.
It's not really business, right? It's a love. It's a passion. But Coach Duke, what would you do if you couldn't be a football coach? What would you do?
You know, I've actually had this conversation with my wife and family before, and actually not that long ago. It'd be a couple of different things. I really love to travel and also feel that God's called me to serve His people. So maybe something in the service world, in the missionary world, or overseas, or even in our country, going somewhere and being somewhere where I could serve a community in some kind of capacity. And then on another side, growing up in the state of Florida, I remember from a very young age being extremely interested in meteorology and weather. And, here we just had this catastrophic event. But I remember being young and following Hurricane Andrew and, of course, the devastation that it left in South Florida. And just from a very young age, tracking hurricanes with my father just because he's from Miami. And also, I'm a fifth-generation Floridian. So if you're a Floridian, you know hurricanes and weather patterns and lightning and tornadoes and everything that we deal with in our state. So I find weather fascinating. I don't have a great academic background in meteorology, but it'd be something that would interest me. And being a meteorologist, it would be something that I think would be a fascinating job and something I would love to do. And of course, if you're from this state, you know the great Jim Cantori.
Jim Cantori.
And watching him and if that job to me looks extremely exciting. I think some people might be frightening. To me, that looks like a thrilling job, and maybe I could follow in his footsteps one day.
I saw one of them guys this week. He had on a bicycle helmet.
Oh yeah,
he was out there in the storm with a bicycle helmet on, and I was amazed by that. I thought it was like wow, bicycle helmet in a storm. It reminded me of Jim Cantori in the old days. We could have done one last week, one of these coffee with coaches, but just didn't get it done. It just didn't happen. I think our production team failed us, maybe. I don't know.
It was a tough week last week.
It was a tough week. It was a tough week. That's right. All right, so weatherman. I think if I could have any job, no, she didn't ask me. She didn't want to know what Coach Duke
I'd like to know what you'd like to do.
I would do 5 different jobs every day of the week.
Okay.
I would be a teacher one day, because then you don't get quite maybe as bored. I'd be a teacher one day. I'd cut a fancy field with my straw hat and my country music on, and I'd ride around and smell the grass. I love the smell of fresh cut grass. I'll be a walking postman.
Nice.
I would do some sort of general construction, like I'd dig ditches, like for just like
some good hard labor.
8 hours once a week, just dig a ditch. And I'd probably be a draftsman, like an architect, like just not digital, because everything now is on a computer, like the old days where you draw lines and write in fancy letters. And if I worked 6 days of the week, I'd be a judge.
Oh, nice.
I'd be a judge.
I can see that.
Those six things. That would be my 6 things. And I think I'd be happy. Maybe that's what I'll do when I retire. I think maybe. What are we at here, Coach? How much time we got left? Let me see my little clock. It went off on us. We got 14 minutes. So let's move on. We got 6 more minutes left. We're doing some math now. And let's talk about Monday in Wekiva.
Okay. Yep.
Mustangs, right?
Yep, big district game. In the state of Florida, you're guaranteed to make the playoffs if you win your district. We're fortunate to be 1-0 with a win over Jones. Wekiva is our next district game, and they're very talented. We got to go there on Monday night, so it's going to be, again, a short week. Very talented team. We played them the last few years and had some great battles with them. They have great team speed, coached really well. Quarterback plays good. Running back's very talented. Offensive line, a very physical unit. And I think defensively they get to the ball and they can do some really good stuff on the defense side. So we got to play well. We can't think about them yet because we got to focus on tonight. But we've already got good breakdown on them. We've already been working on them as a staff, making sure we're going to go into that game prepared. But the Wekiva Mustangs, huge district game on the road.
Yeah, I think it's an old Edgewater Eagle coach.
Was.
He's
it's an old Edgewater Eagle alum.
Illegal alum. That's what I meant, not coach. Alum.
Yeah, Coach Jeremiah Schwartz.
Not illegal alum. He said Edgewater Eagle alum.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Jeremiah Schwartz.
Yep.
Yeah, he went to Iowa State.
Correct.
I think.
Yep.
He had big old legs.
Yep. Very good running back.
Legs.
And done a good job over there. Yep.
Yeah, they're the Mustangs. There's a documentary I love. It's called Wild Horse, Wild Ride, if you can find it. They do a Mustang challenge every year out there somewhere in the West, and they send a Mustang. A Mustang's a wild horse. They send them through a chute. And if you're a horse trainer, you get whatever horse comes out. Then you have 100 days to train that horse the best that you possibly can. And then they do a rodeo at the end with the horses. It's phenomenal. They do 6 different guys. One's this old country guy. Another one's this, Native American guy. There's 6 of them. And there's a lady. And what they do at the end with these horses, they take a wild Mustang, and in 100 days, they turn them into an Edgewater Eagle. I mean, they jump when you say jump. They run when you say run. They follow every possession, progression, everything that goes down in football. It's unbelievable. Wild Horse, Wild Ride.
There's also another movie, and it's a documentary movie, I forget, but it's about Mustangs being used for rehabilitation purposes for people that are in prison.
I believe that.
And it's a great movie, but they use these Mustangs and they bring these people that have been incarcerated for a long time, and they work with these horses, they train these horses, and it's a really, really cool story. And it's about Mustangs out west. That's currently a from what I know, a true thing that takes place.
Neat. Yeah, documentary. That's neat. That's like kind of very different. But do you know the Angola Prison Rodeo? You ever heard of that?
I have not.
Angola is the most famous state penitentiary in the state of Louisiana, and I think
you haven't been there, have you?
No,
spending time.
I've never been there. No, I've been by it, and my friends have been by it. I've only been to state penitentiary in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And a federal penitentiary, actually.
Like, spent time there?
A couple of hours in each, actually. My uncle, he had a juice business, and I was up there visiting him, and he was going to.
Oh, you did actually?
I didn't. I had to go with him. I put on the juice man shirt, and then we went in, and we had to fix the juice machine.
Oh, you weren't going in like that?
But really, no, I wasn't. No, Mr. Leisher clean. I got a clean record. Super clean record. Okay, so, and we went in and fixed the juice machines. It was quite an experience. But at Angola, they do a prison rodeo, and they used to. I don't know if they even allow it anymore, but it's different kind of rehabilitation. They play like poker with the bull, and the 4 guys you have to hold your cards and keep your hands on the table.
Okay.
And they sit at the table and they let a bull loose in the ring.
They showed that on the movie the TV show Yellowstone. They did that as well.
Okay, yeah, that's like a cowboy thing, but it really happens at Angola.
Gotcha.
It did in the past. They used to feed them Nutra, too. You know what a Nutra is?
I do not.
A Nutra's like a swamp rat. They were brought in by the guy who started Tabasco as a pet. He brought them from Asia somewhere. So they're an invasive species if you're into science and environmental science, like our production team. I know he's into environmental science. So they brought them in, and then they just spread like rats. They just went everywhere, these Nutria. And now, for a long time, you could go out with your friends, and you could shoot them, and the state of Louisiana would pay you for killing
Did not
them.
know that.
Yeah, it was like killing the pythons in the Everglades.
Right, gotcha.
Kind of similar like that. So we got Wekiva. We're going to tame that wild Mustang on Monday. Today's Friday. We got a minute and a half left. Coach, did you get to have your gender reveal?
We did. Actually, last weekend.
Is that private?
No, it's not. My wife and I will be expecting a baby girl, so our second girl in March.
That's right.
Yep.
I love it.
I love
names picked out?
Still working on some.
Daisy?
No, not Daisy. No.
Daisy Duke? No.
We have a few that, we learned something about names. Everyone's got an opinion.
Don't ever. That's right.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's very hard being a teacher and naming a child because you got memories in your head of certain names, and it's like, oh no, we're never calling that one Cameron. I had that boy Cameron Duke, and that number 13 was a pistol. All right,
on the field, that's for sure.
On the field, a pistol? I bet. I see it. All right, 45 seconds, Coach. Anything you want to share? Swifty's going to be out in 45 seconds. We did our best, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And we didn't plan much, but we don't edit around here. We don't do that fancy editing. You watch movies these days, it's like, chow, 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 chow. Everything's edited. Me and Coach Duke just put the thing on. We're good. Let it run.
Well, I think, I love our team. I love our leadership. I told our guys when we got back from being kind of, separated due to the Hurricane Ian, I said, this team we have is special, and they're built for this. Even when, it's 3 games in 8 days, I love the leadership. I love the energy. We got a big one tonight, big one Monday, and then the following Friday at Ocoee, another really good team. So we have a 3-game stretch, and then after that, we get homecoming. So we're going to, I hope to see everyone out tonight versus Timber Creek. This community is going to be beautiful weather. This storm came and brought in great weather. I know it had a path of destruction, but behind it, man, this weather's been gorgeous. So it's going to be a gorgeous night for football. We'd really love to see the community out here supporting our team. I know Timber Creek's going to travel well. And then, we have 2 away games on a Monday and a Friday next week. And then the following week, we have another district game, but it's homecoming. And Horizon, a new program that's actually doing really well this year, comes to us for homecoming week, and we need it to be a great special week. We want all of our alumni back involved for our homecoming game, and just it's going to be a beautiful community event. We have a big parade on Thursday, and we'll talk about that more next week, I'm sure, on the show. But then after that, we have an open week, and then we have Battle of the Barrel at home. So we're in the second half of the season, and it's go time. As I told our guys, it's time when we're going to even have more of a sense of urgency and rev this thing up even more. But I love our team. I love our program where we are because of the leadership that's in it and because of the community that's behind it. So we need you tonight. We need you hopefully next week on the road when we go to Wakai, when we go to Ocoee, and then back for homecoming, then an open week, and then we got Battle of the Barrel versus Boone here. So a lot of stuff coming down the pipe, but we're grateful to be where we are and to be back together. And again, we're praying and for all the families that have been affected by Hurricane Ian, and even our own coaching staff and some of our players. I know faculty members. A lot of people have rallied around each other, and sometimes these events do that. They help people rally around, and that's what is beautiful about our community in Edgewater. We're always going to rally for one another.
That's right. We're doing it. All right, Coach. Tonight, come on out. Support your Eagles, 7 p.m. Edgewater High School, home game. Field's looking good. Come see it. One of my goals is get Coach Duke talking more. You heard that? He talked a lot today. All right, Coach. Last one.
Eagle.
Pride.